Hello, Christoph. Welcome to the show. I'm very excited to have you because I have a lot of questions about your brand of surf music and the teaser that you have coming up. Um, I believe your surf EP will be out by the time this airs in September.
We're probably looking at mastering in September, October. It's more in November, I would say.
Oh, good. So this is a very timely interview.
Yeah.
The way you describe your YouTube channel is like ambient surf music, surf punk music, and it really is that at the moment. But the teaser that you're playing on YouTube has a more surfy sound on it. Would you say?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, definitely. So I'm coming from a more electronic music background. That's something I've been doing since 2007, 2008. However, when I was younger in the 90s, I did play drums in a punk rock band, and I always kind of leaned in this direction. I just branched out into electronic music because I wanted to do something new. And I've done this for quite a few years, and now I'm drawn back to punk rock more or less. And surf music has always been something I was drawn to because of the rich ambience and the big reverby sound and delays and that kind of stuff. I'm very fascinated by that, the sonic qualities of it. And yeah, I thought I would explore that.
Okay. So when I was listening to your music on YouTube, one of the things that struck me is it does have that repetitive dancing EDM style to it, but very much punk rock and very much surf.
Yeah.
Especially on the new teaser you're playing. I find that extremely interesting, and I want you to kind of explain what's your goal, what's your end game for this EP?
Yeah. So I've been mainly in the studio since 2020 because of COVID. Back then I had gigs planned all over the place and everything got canceled. I think that kind of gave me a little bit of an idea to recalibrate and to try something new. And originally I couldn't play the guitars. I kind of taught myself to play electric guitar in 2021. And people always ask me, what kind of cover songs do you want to play? I never wanted to play cover songs. I always had the goal to play my own music. And that's what I've been so focused on. So I jumped straight into it and started writing my own songs. And I discovered very early on that I got pulled in the direction of the Ramones and bands like Adonis. I'm not sure if you're familiar with them, a Canadian band that did like surf industrial music in the mid 2000s. And that was kind of the direction I was going into. I really like the big reverb, the slap echo. I'm a big Brian Setzer fan, big The Living End fan. These are definitely bands I'm interested in. I love Green Day. So I tried to combine all these influences, but not copy, but to turn it into my own brand of surf punk rock music. And I guess the end game or the goal is I want to release as much music as possible, starting out with an EP. After that, jumping straight into production for a full album and hopefully playing gigs next year.
What is this? Is this something you're going to do as like a one-man band, or if so, how are you going to pull that off live?
That's a good question. I've been asking me that question during production the last 2-3 weeks. And I think there's a way to pull it off live. If I choose at the beginning to be solo, there will be a lot of playback loops and probably some looping with a loop pedal and a drum machine mimicking the drummer. That's not perfect, but it's achievable. I've done that before when I was working with electronic music. I definitely don't want to have the image of a button pusher that people think, oh, he's just karaokeing to a laptop. That's the last thing I want. But the thing that I learned, and having been a musician for most of my life, to find the right people to make music with can be very difficult. And even the last full band I played with, I was in the indie rock band in 2022, 2023. We broke up after 1 year because people just couldn't get their stuff straight. So after contemplating if I should just look for a band, I decided at first to probably go on my own. However, I leave the door open to potentially turn this into a band. And if I have to hire people to do it, I'll be okay with that. But yeah, I'm not quite certain yet. I hope I can pull it off by myself. Maybe I cannot do all of the songs live by myself, but I would think I should be able to modify them to a certain degree that I can play live. Absolutely.
Awesome. What do you think? I mean, I really like your do-it-yourself attitude. And I think that holds a lot of people back from going out there and putting their music out there, because I mean, first of all, there's a lot of bands, so there's a lot of people competing for your attention. But yeah. I think there's even more people that wish they could and are stopping themselves because they can't get band members or they're in a small area. Like, what is your advice to them about, just starting up and doing it yourself?
Yeah. The only advice I can give is just do it. I know that sounds stupid, but that's what I've always been doing. Being located in Greenville, South Carolina, it is not geographically an area where there's a lot of punk rock or surf punk happening. You would think we're so close to the beach that there would be more going on in this direction, but there's not. So that's one of the reasons why I've been reaching out on Instagram to a lot of people to just friend like-minded artists to see what comes of it. You never know. Someone says, hey, I really like what you're doing. We will be in the area. Would you like to join us on the bill? If you just sit at home and say, I wonder, you will never know what could be. And that's really has been my attitude for a very long time. If I could not be on a festival, I just made my own festival and invited people to play with me. And at this point, I'm really at the point almost pushing 50 that I say now's the time to do it. What am I waiting for, right? And I really think there is like-minded musicians closer geographically when you look at North Carolina, Virginia, even probably down south in Florida. So I think there's artists there that go in the direction of the Ramones, the Cramps, and all this kind of trashy, garagey surf punk sound that I'm looking for. And I would love to connect with these people and just jump right into it. So I'm probably looking at going into rehearsals by next summer, the latest, and hope to do live shows in the fall. So I'm really just hitting the ground running. I'm not playing around. Again, at my age, what am I waiting for? And I'm fully aware that the first performances will be shaky because this is something new I've never done before. But that's how you learn. So my advice would be hit the ground running, just push for what you want to do. Try to be as good as you can with what you're doing. And there's so many people that probably do similar things that I'm doing, but what sets it apart is that I'm the person doing it. And that's the advice I give to other people. Do your surf brand rock, your brand of surf rock or surf punk. At the end of the day, it will be different because it's you.
Yeah, that's a great way to look at it. And it's kind of the way, if I can tip my hat to you, it's kind of the way I do things. I started out doing really, really shitty interviews and learned as I went. I just wanted to do it so badly.
Yeah.
And that I just improved. Each time I did it, I improved on, what did I learn from that?
Sure.
And how could I improve? And I think people would love to go along, if especially with a band, when you find a band when they first come out and you watch how they evolve as musicians.
Yeah.
That's a wonderful story to tell.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. That's how my path as an artist worked. I look back at some of my performances from years ago, and it's cringeworthy. But you have to go through the process because you're getting better. The more you get out in front of people, the more that you embrace making mistakes. And the music I'm doing right now is actually a little bit better if it's unpolished than electronic music, because in electronic music, you can really hear it if you screw up. If there's offbeat or something is not right as it was maybe on the recording, people will notice that real quick. However, I think punk rock in particular invites for imperfections. I mean, there's nothing more beautiful than to have a human feel in the music, to maybe play a wrong note or that the arrangement sounds different live than on the recording. People will appreciate that. If you feedback with the guitar, it's almost part of the performance. And I think you have to really go through this process of screwing up to get better. No one expects you, I think, to go out and play your first gig and to be perfect at it. That's not the expectation of the audience, and it should not be your expectation either. It's okay to screw up. And the best musical moments I had sometimes by lucky accidents and screwing up.
Yeah.
It really is.
And Hilly at CB's told the Ramones, "You guys are trash.
Yeah.
You're not going to do anything."
Right.
And they just kept playing until, you know, word caught on. And I think the dedication that you have is going to serve to your benefit for sure, and anybody's.
Right. I agree.
So, go ahead.
I also wanted to come back at the beginning. You were saying ambient surf. You probably seen in one of my clips, I'm using a modular synthesizer with all the cables hanging out. Looks like
it was really cool.
Looks like a bomb almost a little bit. And as I said, I still want to incorporate some of these things because he can do some really cool lo-fi stuff, right? And what I want to do is I want to not only have bass saw guitars throughout the whole set. I would like to have moments where people can take a breather and have a transition that is a little bit smoother, where they can go ahead and maybe look at projections in the background, some ambience, and then go into something that might be a little bit more, I wouldn't say aggressive, but more in the punk rock or surf punk area. I think people appreciate it when they go to concerts that there's a little bit more variety and not just necessarily the music just kind of blending one song into the next. You can't really tell the difference anymore either.
Yeah, I think it's more like more like a show, like a theater type presentation, or like a DJ. How they go for, say, an hour or 3 hours straight without stopping, which a lot of surf fans have been known to do.
Yeah,
but more cohesive and with ambient, like you said, ambience in the background and performance art type things.
Yeah, I do like working with visuals and projections and those kind of things. And as you could probably see in my teaser, some of the footage was stock footage that I found online, but some things is footage I take in my own studio or things that I just film by myself. And my intention is to give an audience next year not only the sonic experience, but also something to look at behind me, because let's be honest, who wants to see one guy just on a stage with a light on him? It's boring, and people will shut off really, really quick. So I think with projections and some nice lighting, it will make all the difference in the world, and people will really understand what I'm trying to do. Yeah, it is punk rock, but or surf punk, but the beauty about that is, how can you even define what it is, right? It is whatever you want it to be, and that's going to be my brand of it.
That's awesome. Well, Christoph, thank you so much for being on the show, and you really intrigued me, just from your YouTube page, your YouTube channel, which I'll have a link in the description. Awesome. And I invite people to click on that link and follow you on your journey and pay attention to this EP he's going to put out. Check out the teaser, because I think fans of Pie Records channel are really going to be up for the the experiment that you're putting together.
That'd be awesome. Yeah, you can also find me on Instagram and Facebook, obviously. I would appreciate every like and follow, and I'll follow back. That's one thing I learned also through this experience is you cannot just have people follow you and then you don't give back. I mean, especially in a niche genre like this, you really need to support each other. And I think that's what I like the last 2-3 weeks of making new connections, that people actually stick with you and they're not just follow you. And then once you follow them, they let you go. And it's just about numbers. I mean, it's really about community, and it's about the music.
Awesome. Well, Christoph, you take care, and thanks again. And good luck on your endeavors. And please stay in touch. Send me flyers. I'll post them.
Awesome.
And send me stuff. I'll post it on our Patreon page as well. And we'll get the word out. And hopefully in South Carolina, people are going to be open to a real treat from you.
We'll see. Thank you so much, Ryan. I appreciate it. It was fun. Thank you.
Please join our Patreon page to get special behind-the-scenes footage and segments exclusive to Patreon, YouTube updates, also a sneak peek of what's coming next week, merch, and also services, free flash drive exclusively for segments in the band.